Welcome back to Orlando Out of Context. This is episode 29. I'm Brian.
I'm Stephanie.
Make sure to follow us on Instagram at Orlando Out of Context and visit us at orlandooutofcontext.com. And please listen and subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play. And y'all are making fun of me. Listen.
You always look so serious, like you're saying a prayer with your eyes shut.
I'm trying to...
channeling your inner, like...
I'm trying to dig back in there.
News person.
Into that memory bank to get what I'm supposed to say.
I appreciate it.
You look like Whitney about to hit that note. I know. like you're gearing up for it.
Today we have a special guest. We have Kristy here with us. Hey, Kristy!
Hey, and Kristy and
Kristy came in here lit AF. She sat down to podcast with us, and she's like, I need a drink. And she goes in the kitchen.
And I make her drink.
Brian makes a drink, and she comes in here with a fucking glow-up light cube in her drink.
I'm not the only one drinking here.
Like this is Disney.
I made myself a drink, too. This is the first episode that where there's drinking.
I got the H2O over here, so.
I mean, you can hear sometimes with our clinging glass and
we always
ice,
have water
but
to wet the whistle.
This is the first time that we've been
So
drinking.
Kristy is a long-time friend of ours. Kristy and I met working on Main Street, and we bonded over the Steelers because one day we were working together, and she was like, this is the year that the Steelers won Super Bowl. I believe it was in 2009. Was it in 2009?
2006.
No.
2006. Okay. And then
they got that Super Bowl ring.
They came to the Magic Kingdom where we worked, and they were part of the parade. And Kristy was like, "Oh, I got those pics. I got pics of them yesterday. You want them?" And I was like, "Yeah, I want them." And this was back when you took pictures like on a camera.
Yeah,
like
way back in the day. So, Kristy, tell us a little bit about your history with Orlando. What brought you here? What keeps you coming back for more?
Well, of course, these lovely people in front of me. Of course. Let's see. 2006, I did the Disney College program.
Whoop whoop.
All of our guests pretty much have done
Yeah.
that.
You basically do it, and you're like
hooked for life.
Yeah. So, 2006, I did the Disney College program.
Working on Main Street.
Give
me a Main Street. Throw it up.
And then I went back after my program and decided that New York was cold AF. And I had nothing else going on. So I said, why don't I move here and try this out for a little bit. And
so we moved Kristy back down here, and she lived in the apartment.
I was trying to think. Did you move
next door?
Did you move as soon as you moved back down here? You moved right next door.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I knew the people that lived next door, and one of them was looking for the other person was looking for a roommate.
Stephanie called me the moment she heard people moving out next door. Literally, I think they were
Come on down.
They're moving their couch out, and she's like, "You gotta get here!
Get down here!
Get here! I got the guy's number. You gotta call him right now. Get here!"
So we got her ass in there, and then as soon as I had an opening in my apartment, I moved her over into my apartment.
Right.
And she stayed here for a little bit, and then she went back home.
It was kind of like, Friends,
the
show Friends, because we weren't across the hall, but we were right next door.
Right next door.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
But we still wanted to be together in the same apartment so that we could yell across.
We literally, remember we moved my stuff? We carried the mattress over. We carried everything in the night.
Whose mattress was it that we got rid of on top of the car?
Yours.
Was it mine when I left?
We did that. We did that night.
Did you help?
Ninja
helped,
mission.
Right?
Probably. I'm always.
Or we just threw it off the car near the trash can where it wasn't supposed to be.
Which people
Actually,
do that
I think
here.
I did help with that.
Yeah, you did.
And we tipped it against the.
It was a night mission.
Yeah.
And there was cats all around.
We waited for it to be dark, and the maintenance man at the time lived here. So we had to do it after dark.
We went with our ski masks and everything, on the DL.
Yeah.
But so we have some topics today. We want to talk about. Water parks in Orlando.
Are you going to tease the episode?
That's what I'm doing right now.
Gosh.
Go ahead.
No,
go for
you
it.
tease it. I want you to do it.
We're going to talk about water parks in Orlando and which water park is stepping up their game with, catering to guests of all kinds and trying to be the best. And then we want to talk about some pro tips for Discovery Cove. If you've ever been to Discovery Cove at SeaWorld, we have a pro tip on how to make the most out of the tickets that you purchase. We're going to talk about Disney water parks and how it's really not as overpriced as people may think. And then we're also going to talk about Cabana Bay, which is Orlando's newest water park. And Kristy is the water park extraordinaire, as Kristy was part of the opening team of Aquatica back in the day back in its heyday.
What year did it open? Like 2000.
I want to say 2007 or 8, because I moved back here. I want to say 2007, 2008.
And since then, Aquatica has grown exponentially. They've added lots of rides, lots of new slides and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's one of my favorite water parks. Honestly,
it's definitely one of the best water parks.
The price is great. The location is great. And then, so what we're going to talk about today is what Aquatica's up to right now. So we just found out that this week Aquatica was, they received a certification from the Certified Autism Center. They're now catering to guests who have children with autism. So they have trained their staff there to help them know how to better accommodate these children. And also they have like maps and stuff so you can pre-plan a day. Because I guess I'm not really that familiar with autism, but I think children that have autism, they need a lot of structure and they need a lot of like downtime, like a lot of crowded, like things that we take for granted here, like tours, like all these crowded areas and all these things that we think are fun and great. It can be really stressful for children that suffer from autism.
It's stressful, of course, on the children, but it's also stressful on the parents because they're going into a situation where they don't know. So I'm sure that part of the certification, because the designation that they've received is a Certified Autism Center, and it's from the International Board of Credentialing and Continuing Education Standards. That is a mouthful. Yeah. But that's awesome.
So they're going to have special maps, and then we read that they're having designated areas like quiet rooms that don't have a lot of stimuli where kids can go. I think they said they were
working on it, part of the app too. Like, when you go to like Disney, you have like different things you can look up on the app.
SeaWorld app sucks.
I guess they're going to do some upgrading because that's part of it. Aquatica is part of their full app.
So I thought that was really cool. And, what we read, that this is the first park here in Orlando to have this. Mm-hmm. They said that their sister park, Sesame Place, which is in Pennsylvania, they've been doing it since April of last year.
Wow.
Sesame Place is. SeaWorld's the first water park.
Well, I'm sure that, I wonder if Disney doing this. I'm sure they will eventually, but it's going to take a heap load of time to do it.
I'm sure they haven't.
Will they take like classes and everything, like sensitivity classes?
I'm sure they will.
And it's a 2-year certification, so they have
2 years.
2 years, so they have to recert every 2 years.
Wow.
So it must be quite a course, which is great, because I think a lot of people are not educated on autism and other special needs, and so I think this is a great thing.
Yeah, that's cool. So let's talk about like Aquatica in terms of why it's one of the best water parks in Orlando, and maybe even the world. Maybe, I don't know, but I think it's really clean.
It is very clean.
And Kristy was the boss of the people that clean the park. That was her job. She was the people that made, when you go and they're always sweeping the sand, I'm like, Jesus, why are they always sweeping the sand? Because it'll be somebody sweeping a sand, and then some asshole will walk out of the sand and kick a whole big bunch out, and then that poor person has to keep scooping the sand. Mm-hmm. But that's what that's what it does.
People are always awing about that. They're like, somebody is standing there sweeping the sand
all day long.
That is so classy. I just kicked that thing of sand out. They're going to sweep it right up behind me. Look Look at that.
My favorite ride there is the Rose Rapids.
Roaring the
Roa's Rapids.
Rose Rapids.
Roa,
which is
like
really cool.
ROA.
So it's not
It's not a
a lazy
conventional lazy river.
but it's a fast lazy river.
So they have like jets that shoot you, and don't you dare get near it. Don't you dare get your butt near it, or you're gonna get your
You
pants.
get a super douche.
Seriously, you're either gonna get a super douche or it's gonna blow your pants off.
Literally, yeah.
So, and you would just put like a little vest on, and you
Good
just
luck
lay
catching your
back,
pants.
and you just roll around.
Yeah, it's fun.
I like it. That's one of my
Or
favorite.
as Stephanie
attractions.
likes to do, hang on to my life jacket and drown me through half of the ride.
Yes,
That's her favorite.
because we
thing
can't
to
get
do.
split up, so I gotta hold on to you.
She's like, oh, I'm just going to use Kristy as a flotation device.
And I think they have a new. Do they have a new attraction as of recently?
They're actually. We've read they're coming out with a newer one.
But the most newest one I know is the one where you stand straight up and
Yeah.
the
Drops
floor
the
pulls
floor
from
out,
you
yeah.
and you just drop straight down. That's the newest one that I
And
know.
then there's
of.
one that takes you through where there's dolphins in a dolphin enclosure.
Oh yeah, those the one it's like a tube slide, and the tube
Yes.
goes through the dolphins, and the tube is clear so you can look through
the
it.
Commerson Dolphins. That's
Yeah.
what they're called, Commerson
Oh,
Dolphins.
excuse us.
Christy probably even knows their names. What are their names?
They probably changed from now. I don't. It's been a
She
while.
used to know their names.
I used to wash the window in the morning. They have the giant glass window, and if you use like a white rag,
They'll follow
they'll
your
follow
rag.
you. So I used to go out there in the morning. And
They were
would
just
follow
helping
the
Kristy
rag as
out.
I would go.
Just cleaning the window with her.
No, they were my friends. At
Her friends.
6
And
in the morning.
I pay for an annual pass for SeaWorld that I honestly hardly ever use. But I think I pay $17 a month, and that includes SeaWorld and it includes Aquatica. So I can go anytime I want. So in terms of affordability for a local, I think it's a great option. I know you can even get better deals than that price. But I think the affordability is perfect. And they've always been relatively affordable.
And the accessibility is very easy too. It's not like sometimes like when you go to the Magic Kingdom, it's kind of a production to get in. You have to park, you have to take the tram or the boat, and it's like get your bag checked and this big long thing. At Aquatica, the parking, you turn in, you park, and you walk in. It's not like, so even if you just
Right.
wanted to go for a few hours to like chill at the pool or, grab lunch and lay out in the.
that was my favorite.
That's what
thing
we
there.
used to do.
When
Yeah.
you live here in Orlando, you're probably about like an hour from the closest beach. It's nice to just go there, sit on the beach, and
By the wave
just
pool.
relax by the wave pool. Remember, we used to go sit there.
Yeah.
We'd pull our little chairs all the way up to the water, and usually got
Just
yelled
beach
at. but
ourselves.
Two old Betties.
We would just pull our chairs up there. We get yelled at.
Two
usually,
beach
but-
twills.
And we'd sit there and watch the fireworks over at SeaWorld.
Yeah.
Because the
Oh.
fireworks, it's beautiful viewing right there.
They're open at nighttime at Aquatica?
During the summer.
And then summertime they are.
Oh.
Yeah, so you just sit there and watch the fireworks while you're just, have your little toesies in the water. And
Toesies. Oh, Kristy.
Posies.
toes in the water, ass in the sand.
So those of you that have been to Discovery Cove, that's very close to Aquatica.
Right across the street.
And so with Discovery Cove, if you purchase... Discovery Cove is awesome because
Yeah,
it's like
so
an
tell
all-inclusive...
us. I've never done Discovery Clove. Discovery
I'm shocked
Cove.
you haven't.
So tell us, Kristy and Steph, you've done it too,
Yeah,
right?
I've done it twice.
What is it all about?
I love Discovery Cove. So you can purchase either a dolphin swim or just a resort day. So you don't want to do a dolphin swim and you don't really want to drop that coin and you just want to have like a nice relaxing day. You can purchase just a day pass and you basically, I think they open at like, I want to say
You can get
there at,
breakfast. Yeah.
You can get there at like 6 in the morning.
6 in the morning.
Yeah.
6:30. They check you
Check-in
in.
is early.
Check-in is like amazing. It's like you're checking into this big resort. They walk you in. They take your picture. They put
You get,
out
like, a little ID
resort.
tag.
Yeah, if you're going to be having drinks for the day, they put on there that you're over 21. All of that, and then you go into. They walk you down to like the breakfast area, and it's like
A full breakfast.
full breakfast, like kind of like buffet style, but they have everything in front of you. They can make stuff, make
Like omelets and stuff.
yeah, and then they can do. They have chefs there, so they can actually make any thing that you would like. Like say if you have like
Allergies.
yeah, exactly. So they can tweak things a little bit if you need it, but So you have a full
And
breakfast.
it's like a little.
Does it feel crowded though?
No.
So they only allow a certain amount of people in.
And like, what's the seating situation like?
It's like a little mecca. It's like
Yeah.
there's little nooks and crannies. It's not like your average park. It's like it's like they have a lazy river, but it's not really a lazy river.
So you like when you first come in, they funnel you down and like there's jungle like around you. So you get you follow the jungle. Literally, you can't see anything because it's so thick. But they bring you down to like the food area. So you usually eat breakfast, hang out, and then you go down these different pathways, and they bring you to this main area where you can get
you can snorkel through the water.
You get like a locker and like everything's complimentary. They have wetsuits. If you don't want to wear like a full wetsuit, which I never want to do,
you can just wear a vest.
Just a vest. And the only time you have to wear it is if you're going into like the stingray area, like if you're going into where the fish are and all of that. But when you're in like the lazy river, you don't really. I don't think you have to wear it. I always wear it just because it keeps all your. You have to keep you keep the badge on you and your locker key. So you just put that around your neck and you can swim with it. It's waterproof.
So is there like places to lounge and like?
Yeah, there's hammocks.
Could I take a nap?
Oh yeah.
There's full hammocks that you can sit in. Plus there's lounge chairs just like the ones they have at Aquatica.
Last time I went was with you. Remember?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. There's
so would you say it's like a luxury experience?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely.
It would be a nice place to go as a couple, as a family. And the lazy river, it's not a conventional like just a circle. Like it kind of weaves in and out.
It goes into different sections.
It gets
of the
deeper
park.
And it gets
deeper.
So like the first section,
some parts are very deep and some parts are very shallow.
You can get in and out in different sections.
Yeah, you can get in and out wherever you want.
Goes through a cavern. So you're in a cavern and there's a waterfall that goes over the cavern. So you float through the cavern and then you come out of the cavern and then there's different section where it'll go from like 3-4 feet of water and then drop to like 8 feet of water.
Oh wow!
And then there'll be different sections that have like water.
There's no inner tubes either. It's just you and your snorkel and
you and the nature.
Yes.
You can wear a life jacket or they have noodles, like little noodles you can float on too.
And then whenever it's your turn, you'll get a time for your dolphin swim if you purchase a dolphin swim. So whenever your time is, then that's when you go to that section of the park. And then they have one other section that has stingrays, and there you can go up to like waist high water, and then they swim kind of around you and around your legs and stuff.
That's complimentary, but you can do like I think they do special things that you can do.
Feedings,
with the
maybe.
Yeah.
They also have, then you get another lunch. You get another full meal for lunchtime. And they have snacks throughout the day. Ice cream, chips. And it's all you can drink beer.
And all alcohol.
Like all day.
Yeah. So
included in the price?
Yes. And then...
if you want like a mixed drink, like they have certain
that's
mixed
probably
drinks. It's a little bit more. You have to get a different pass for that. But you can get just like any type of like... it has like Bud Light, stuff like that.
That's cool.
And then,
so just to clarify, Discovery Cove is a part of SeaWorld.
Yes.
It's right across from SeaWorld. It's across from Aquatica as well. And so there's different packages that you can purchase with Discovery Cove. And that's kind of why we're kind of leading into that, is to talk about the pricing. But Discovery Cove price with a dolphin swim is $159.
And the pricing here also you have to check day by day because it changes based on the season and the day of the week. Yep. So you have to put exactly the date you want to go, and the cheapest is during the winter months like because it's cold and
so
nobody
this
really
episode
wants to
is
go.
going to air on the 27th of January. So I'm going to select the 27th of January. And the price is $184, so it bumps up to $184. And then...
and I think they're only open during the wintertime certain days of the week. See how they're only open...
It's looking like it's open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah, usually the weekend. So, which is also how they do it with the water parks as well. So you have to always check your dates.
So if I decided I wanted to do the day resort with a dolphin swim, it's $184. But if I pay just about a little bit under $20 more, I can get the time at Discovery Cove, the day at Discovery Cove, a dolphin swim, and a 2-park package. So the 2-park
Unlimited.
package...
Unlimited park package.
So for the next 14 days after you visit Discovery Cove, you can
go
go
to SeaWorld
unlimited
and
to
Aquatica.
SeaWorld and Aquatica, which is a deal.
Yeah, that's a pretty good deal.
14 days. You could go every day for 14 days to both parks.
This is probably optimal, like, if you really want to do the Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it in
Yes.
November,
Yeah. Mhm.
and then you use that ticket to go to SeaWorld and Aquatica over the next 2 weeks, if
Yep.
you're a local.
Yes.
But if you're a local and you want to do more than a few days, check out their annual passes. We're not going to go into annual passes, but this is a good tip that when you get a Discovery Cove ticket, you can upgrade it just for a few more dollars to have SeaWorld and Aquatica for 14 days.
That's usually what I do. I've been doing that for years. They haven't
For years.
For
they
years.
haven't promoted this as much as they are.
I feel
now.
like they don't promote
They
it
never promoted
because
it
I didn't
because
even know when we
they
went that
told
one
me,
day. I
yeah.
didn't know till I checked in and the lady told me
Yeah.
that you have to keep this pass if you want the access to the parks.
I'm like, access to parks.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, you get
I was
to go on the other
pumped.
parks free. I'm like, what?
This is great for our UK listeners who are here for those, 2 weeks that normally the UK
Yeah, you
visitors.
kind of run out of stuff to do. This would be a good filler for your
Yeah.
time.
That's awesome.
Yes. This is
So that's a
deal.
pro tip.
Pro
for
tip.
those of you who are
Yes.
residents of Florida. Go to Discovery Cove, experience it. It's amazing. It's well worth the money after the 2 meals and the unlimited drinks and snacks. Also, I don't know if you can do this anymore, but the last time I went, I took home so many snacks.
We filled our book
Jeez.
bags.
I filled
We
my
filled
book
our
bag
book
with
bags.
cookies, chips, anything
I
non-perishable
opened my
in my
bag and Stephanie's
backpack.
going like this, shoveling. She took the whole basket. They have like little nice like woven baskets, and she just dumped the whole basket into my book bag. She's like, I hope you brought your big bag.
I wanted snacks for my lunch work. I'm getting my money's worth.
Too bad we couldn't do that with the alcohol.
I know,
because they
right?
uncap it for you.
Because they uncap it for you. We need to get something to put.
Yeah, you just get a little thing to pour it into.
And what's nice about Discovery Cove, that even though if you don't do the dolphin swim, there's so like you got the aviary, so you can go over.
Oh yeah,
there.
there's a bird aviary
an
too.
aviary
Okay.
that you float through, and you can get out and actually feed the birds.
They
And
put
then
little cups.
They'll come
Wow.
over and they'll let you like put the birds on you.
They have
And
like
everything.
larger birds,
Yeah, they
parrots
have, like,
and stuff.
Macaws and
What
like,
did you
all
call
different
me?
types. Macaw. We have like macaws and like all those like littler type of birds too.
Parakeets, lorca.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely want to go while it's still open
Yeah.
before Blackfin shuts it down.
I hope not.
Well, I heard. Should we talk about the rumor? Have
You
guys
can talk
talked
about
that
rumors.
before?
The SeaWorld's never going to sponsor us, so go for it.
I heard that from New York. I heard that Six Flags is trying to. buy
Yeah,
out.
we talked about it
We
on the
touched upon
podcast
it.
already.
Yeah, we heard that's.
And we already know that since
SeaWorld's kind of on their last leg, from what I hear.
they're really trying to
rebrand
rebrand
themselves
and change into more of a attractions type of park. They're not
Yes.
relying on the animals.
When I started, when they were owned by Anheuser-Busch, that was an amazing company to work for.
That's back in the day when we used to get free cases of beer.
Yeah, I had so many. So every month, as a perk for working for the company for part of Anheuser-Busch, they would give us 2 cases of beer.
Wow.
So
What a
you'd
perk.
Show up to like
What
your,
a What a pro tip.
Fostering some drunks who work for you.
I had so much beer. I had it stacked
Under the
underneath
bed.
my bed, and I had to have a party to get rid of it because I'm like, it's gonna expire. We gotta start drinking this.
I thought, didn't you give it to somebody once that was having a wedding or something?
I
Like
think
a
I sold it
reception?
to them.
I
they
think you
bought
sold
from
it
me.
to them.
You don't get paid as much. You gotta make
Gotta make it up
somehow.
somehow.
Not for long. Everyone's getting raises here.
That's
The
what I was
economy
telling
is going to
Kristy.
explode, and everything's going to be expensive
Well,
as fuck.
In New York, they're making the minimum wage $15.
That's what they're doing here.
We're all gonna be in trouble.
Can you imagine making $15 back when we were?
Oh God, we'd have been living the high life.
I don't know. Do you think that prices really have increased that much
No,
here?
I don't think
Not
so.
here. Not in Orlando.
I saw your gas prices. I literally almost fell out of the car.
They're good.
Our gas prices
Compared
and
to the rest of the United
we have
States.
the river.
Christy lives in New York.
I live right by the Hudson River, so we got the the ships come right in with all the oil rigs and everything.
I honestly don't know how it's so cheap here in Orlando, because they could charge whatever they wanted here. People are here on vacation, driving, and but it's very cheap here.
Yeah, it's affordable.
What was the price here? It was like
it's like $198.
Right?
Is it $198 right now?
Yeah.
Oh,
we
dang.
are like at like $240 or $50, something like that.
Damn, Gina.
I haven't lately.
Another reason that you need to move here. Okay, so another thing that we wanted to talk about was SeaWorld is doing, and I looked to find that post that I saw on IG, but I couldn't find it again. They're doing some kind of program where kids under 9, if you go to a website and register them, that you can get, they can get in the park for free.
Free 99.
So I couldn't find the post though. I don't know if it was on or Visit Orlando or...
I think I got an email.
I don't think you can just walk up to the gate and get this offer. You have to register your child. But
I thought it was 8.
That's kind of cool, if you have, school-age kids, if you do homeschooling, or, you just live here in the area and you want to have something to do as a family on the weekends.
Well, I can't find it immediately in a Google search, so we'll post it on our Instagram story if
we can find it.
If we can find it.
I think I got an email about it.
Right now, that's just a rumor.
I
saw the post.
I'm pretty sure I saw it in an email.
All right, so let's move on to a different set of water parks.
Okay.
Walt Disney World, of course, has 2 water parks. They have Typhoon Lagoon, which is my favorite, and then they have Blizzard Beach. And I think that they're good water parks.
Which one's your favorite?
Typhoon Lagoon.
It's hard for me to decide.
Because Typhoon
there's
Lagoon,
things I like about both of them.
Typhoon Lagoon, to me, is a little bit more like relaxed and like you're at a resort. Whereas Blizzard Beach, there's like snow everywhere.
It's more kitschy. It's more
campy.
Yeah.
I've only been to Blizzard Beach. I've never been to Typhoon Lagoon.
You gotta go to Typhoon Lagoon. Yeah. It's good. So I think that something that people don't really think or maybe overlook is how affordable, especially for locals, that the Disney water parks are. You can get an annual pass for $130 for the year. And I think that that's really reasonable.
It's not bad. They also have another pass after 2 for residents.
Yeah, I just think
which is a little less. I think.
I think it's a good deal for a full year.
How much is the one at Aquatica?
I don't know. I pay $17 a month for Aquatica and SeaWorld.
That's cheap too. But yeah, that's not bad. I mean, I think in the wintertime they're not both open.
Correct. So one closes for like a month or 2, and then the other
because they do maintenance, so they only ever have one at a time open on the weekends or during the summer or during the winter months. But I think that's a good deal.
Yeah, I think it's a great
especially
deal.
because it's very expensive per day.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's very expensive if you just buy a 1-day ticket as opposed to buying a 1-day ticket to Aquatica or Volcano Bay.
Right. For sure. I don't have much more to talk about with the Disney water parks other than I think that most people don't know that they have an annual pass. I think it's a hidden gem.
Yeah. They don't advertise it that much. They don't push it to the guests at all because I don't think it's really meant to handle. I don't think
the parking
tons of people.
Yeah, those water parks really aren't because the parking lots are small. The entries are small. The whole park is small.
It's so hard to keep up with the cleanliness of the park when there's that many people in the park.
If you're coming also to Disney, it's kind of low on priority. I remember
everyone wants to go to the theme parks.
Coming here, I'd want to go to the water parks, but I don't think we ever really did because that meant wasting a day that you didn't get to go to the park. Not wasting, but it's like the parks are priority. So
right. But for locals, that's why I say for locals, I think it's a great thing to look into, and especially you can get it, I guess, even cheaper with the after 2 p.m.
And those of you that are cast members,
it's not Disney themed.
It is.
Yes, it is.
Is there Disney characters in it though?
They have their own I don't. Typhoon Lagoon doesn't have their own characters, but
neither does Blizzard Beach.
yes, they have the
Blizzard
alligator.
Beach has the alligator.
They have the alligator. I forget his name, and so I think sometimes he does meet and
But
greets.
you don't see like Mickey, and you don't see like
I don't know if they ever do character.
They
meet
might
and
do
greets.
characters in the swimsuits now.
Yeah.
You remember when we had that Main Street party?
Yes.
And Mickey was there in his swimsuit, and they got in the water slides.
Yes.
And they did the water slides.
That's cool.
And remember, Mickey was doing remember the dance, the
they
Superman.
Had a DJ, and
he was doing
dancing.
Super Soak That Hoe.
Soldier
Superman. Soldier Boy,
Yeah.
that's what it was. I have video of Mickey Mouse dancing to Soldier Boy. I do.
Yes.
In his bathing suit.
Yep.
Oh my
It was great.
What was it? Mickey and
It was
Donald
Mickey and Donald.
and-
Yeah. So, also, if you're a cast member, I think still during the winter months, they give you free entrance.
Yeah.
And I think starting in February.
Which is not.
To the water parks?
Yeah.
Which is good because some days in the winter here
It's 80
hot.
degrees, 90 degrees. So, check that out, cast members.
That's amazing. That's something I miss here.
The next place we want to talk about was Volcano Bay, which is somewhere I still haven't. We haven't been able to experience
I would like
yet.
to go try that at some point this year.
We've been wanting to for a while. We wanted to wait and let the hype die down.
And when they first opened, I heard that
It wasn't complete.
Yeah,
complete.
the attractions really weren't all the way open. So I basically was told by someone who is a concierge here in Orlando to just stay away for the first 6 months or so. So that's what we did. Was we still haven't gone, but
what we want to do is buy a cabana because the cabanas seems like a good way to experience the water park.
So the water park ticket price is $80, which to me is very expensive for a water park.
For this time of year, yes.
For any time of year, in my mind,
I think, well,
$80.
For, like this time, when it's this time of year and the temperature's lower, they'll change the time of the park opening.
Yeah,
they'll make it
this would
only
be less
open
hours.
a certain amount of time.
Right.
I know they used to do that.
So you have to get in. Of course, even if you get a cabana, you're still going to have to pay your admission ticket or your admission for $80. And then the cabanas, the single cabana units, which hold up to 6 people, and you can choose from upper level cabanas, which I think is pretty cool.
So you can look down at the peasants.
They start at 200.
So 200 divided by 6, that's a great deal.
Yeah, if you can find, if we can find 4 other friends to go with.
For real.
And then we have the family suite cabanas, which hold up to 16. You could have a party in
That's
there.
a party.
And that is $600 for the day.
And these cabanas are nice. They have your personal seating, so you'll have a seat. Nobody will mess with your stuff. There's a locker. There's a little fridge, and they have a button where you can order drink service.
A button?
A button. Mm-hmm. So you can sit there and you can call them, and then somebody will come to you.
They say that they have padded lounge chairs, extra comfy seating, small refrigerator stocked with bottled water, complimentary fruit, and a snack basket, towel, locker service. There's a lot included. I think that this... For the size of this park, which I'm guessing is relatively small because I know what the footprint is of the park, you can literally see it on I-4.
Yeah.
And I'm also curious, once you're in the park,
what's it feel
does it
like?
feel like you're on I-4? Because you're basically
on I-4.
in the middle of
That's
I-4. And
what it looks like.
I'm curious to see what the feeling is like when you're in the park and what the sounds are like and all that.
I wish I could get a free ticket to this park.
We have always struggled living here getting free stuff to Universal because we don't really
have anyone that has the hookup at Universal.
Perk of working for,
you got Universal at that time, didn't you?
Yeah, they would give us.
And Kristy had family passes, so I got a pass to everything too.
Yeah.
When Kristy worked there, I had a pass to Busch Gardens, SeaWorld, Aquatica, and Sesame Place.
Yeah.
You got like 3 or 4 of those. Yeah.
Plus, I got regular one-day tickets.
And we were getting the beer. It was a good day to be alive. Before
that was the best.
Before SeaWorld hit the skids, it was
Yeah.
It was good. It was a good company back in the day.
SeaWorld has my favorite roller coaster. Have you been on Mako?
I haven't been on
It's the
Mako
brand.
yet.
It's the newest. Oh, it's so
when
good.
I was working there, so I was just telling Stephanie this earlier today. When they were making Manta, that's when I was working there. And
does that mean that roller coaster wasn't there yet when you worked there?
Mako.
The one he just said.
Yeah, Mako's brand new. It's like 2 summers ago.
Yeah,
they opened it.
When I was there, they were just building Manta, and so they used to have us finish our shift at Aquatica. They would go pay us overtime to go ride Manta before they opened it to the public.
To test it.
They have to have so many rides. Same thing with the
They
water
wanted to
park.
make sure if someone was going to die, it was not going to be the public. It was going to be the employees.
So they would just have us go up on it, and we would ride it a few times, and then we'd get off and go back through the queue and come back on, and they would pay us overtime to go ride the rides.
Oh. Well, Manta I can do maybe once, but I don't really care for... I don't like roller coasters that go upside down. I can ride them and be fine, but I prefer roller coasters that don't have upside down. And Mako doesn't have upside down. It just goes really freaking high and has really amazing dips. It's so smooth. It's so smooth. That's my favorite.
That's how Manta is. Manta's very smooth. That's why I like it.
Yeah, when you rode it 10 years ago.
It's all blown out
I don't know
now.
how it is now.
I don't know. Manta's I don't like the way you have to lay down on Manta. All the blood goes rushing to your head.
Yeah, I like it.
Lots of people like it, and I see why. But
the only other
Mako's
problem
my
is
favorite.
when it crushes you.
Your titties?
When you're
Christy has tiggle bitties, and she can't even fit in some roller coasters.
Yeah, literally. They're like, "Sorry, ma'am, you can't get on here." I'm like, okay.
Some tiggle bitties.
They're like, I can't click it down anymore. I'm like, well, I can't move these girls. They're just here. They're here to stay. I can't just push one to the side and let you push on it.
So anyway, that is kind of. Oh, we didn't talk about Volcano Bay waiting in lines.
Oh, so yeah. Apparently, they have something where you can just
This is like a fast pass?
it's like a watch, and you like register for the ride you want, and then you don't have to go, like, when the watch summons you, then you go get in the line. I don't really know too much about it other than
Sounds perfect.
That's nice.
But I just don't understand how it would really work. I mean, at some point somebody's got to wait in the line. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't you have to be there when the ride is ready to start.
Right. So there's some waiting, but you're not waiting for 30 minutes half naked, waiting for the attraction.
Half naked.
Getting to sunburn.
So anyway, I want to talk about, because I think that's pretty much for water parks, right? Do we have any other input? So stop getting on your phone.
I'm trying to find the information about the kids.
Nobody gives a shit about it.
I just want to put the real facts out there, like they told me to in new school.
We'll follow up in new school. We'll follow up with our listeners later if that's the case. Okay? Because I want to talk about the spa. You guys went to Blue Harmony, which this is kind of like a follow up to our spa
I finally got to go.
Because
I got my turn.
Cheryl, who was on last year, Cheryl and I went to Blue Harmony for the Travel Zoo deal for, what was it, $89 for the massage. So today, Steph and Kristy went to Blue Harmony and had their Travel Zoo coupon, which Travel Zoo
went on
were
a
looking.
Groupon.
Travel Zoo. Oh, it's a Groupon.
Yeah, we went on a Groupon.
Oh, well, you can also get it through Travel Zoo. I prefer Travel Zoo. Travel Zoo, we want you to be a sponsor.
Yes, I would go again on a Travel Zoo. It was all right. I wasn't wowed. I wasn't blown away. It was nice because it was relaxing. We got to spend time together, and it was relaxing. Point blank. Period. That's all I wanted, and that's what I got. So. What were your thoughts, Kristy?
Well,
we should have let Kristy speak first.
I wasn't wowed by it by any means, but I have to say that I've been to some really nice spas.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
And that's the problem.
But let's talk. Let's let Kristy talk, and then I'll give my feedback. Go.
Well, as an inexperienced
spa goer,
because
was this your first spa?
This was my first spa, but my second ever massage.
Okay,
so.
This is your first resort spa.
Yeah.
Okay.
So to me, this was like luxurious.
Okay.
She was like, "This is the bomb.com."
I don't get out of my little po town too much because I'm usually working too much. But I thought it was a great experience. I didn't know I I wish there was a little bit more knowledge about what you do. Like, if I went there by myself, they're like, oh, yeah, you come in here and you put your robe on and stuff like that. I had to ask Stephanie, I'm like, how much clothes
Well,
do
I think
take
that's
off?
just
I don't even know.
like spa etiquette, really. I think what Kristy's saying is she didn't know.
She didn't know the spa etiquette.
She didn't know the spa.
So,
and I didn't either. No, but I think everyone is
told
like
you?
that when you walk to your
Yeah.
first. You just kind of
Because,
figure it out.
like,
I don't know.
When you're not experienced with it, you're like, you know, oh, because I don't know.
She would have gone into the room fully clothed.
Yeah, like
shoes and all.
Yeah,
to get her massage.
Because the first time I ever had a massage done, I went into it was at a hotel or whatever. It was part of a package, like a ladies' weekend package, and so we got a 30-minute massage included.
30 minutes.
That's not even enough to get
Yeah,
relaxed.
It was like, for us, that's classy. You know? that's when you take a
Well,
step
when you
out
go
of the
to
sticks, you know.
When you go to get a massage at a place like Massage Envy or like just a quick massage, that's how it is. You go into the room, you undress, you get your massage, and you leave. But when you go to a spa, you get to put the robe, you get to get a locker, and kind of relax, you know?
They actually just put a place like that in our mall, our local mall.
In the mall.
Yeah, which I'm like,
Because malls are dying.
yeah.
So
they
they're gonna
just
fill
put
the
one in the
space.
mall, so I might try to hit that up. But now that I'm experienced,
We did get
you know.
champagne.
Yeah, they give.
Sparkling wine, I'm sure.
No, it was
Oh,
champagne.
it was champagne.
It
They
was
were popping
champagne.
bottles for us in there. I was asking Steph, I'm like, can we get a whole bottle? Like, I was like, this is okay.
So I think my feedback for why I know Stephanie said that is because she's been to some really nice spas, as have I been to really nice spas. However,
So my bar is very high.
Spas come in all shapes and sizes, but I do think that Blue Harmony, for a smaller spa with a smaller footprint, offers some nice amenities for the size that it is, and I think that it is worth the $89 value coupon, whatever coupon site you choose.
Yes.
Me and Kristy got a coupon to come back for another $89 massage.
Yeah.
Well, they always have the coupon readily available. So
They want
It
to
made
make
us
you
feel
feel
good
like
that
you
they-
got a deal.
So when Cheryl and I went, the problem that we saw was that the jacuzzi area in the outside was a little bit dirty. How was that this time?
It was good.
Yeah,
but
it
there
was
was
fine.
like, I feel like if you had more than 4 people there,
Yeah, it
it's
would've
too
been a
much.
Did they add
crowded.
furniture to the cabanas that sit on
No, they were
No,
empty.
they were empty.
Man, Blue Harmony, you need
We
to...
were wondering what, maybe, I don't know what was going on there. They were just dead empty. Not even a place to sit.
That's what it was like when we went. I don't
There was-
understand. Blue Harmony, spend the money to make those into cabanas
You could
and
put a
rent
little
them
fridge,
out
a
or
TV,
something.
a bed. Yeah.
I mean,
But,
even if you could rent them out for like $200 for the day, you're still making more money than them just sitting empty.
Empty. And they don't even look aesthetically pleasing.
No.
Because they look like a little jank. Like, ugh. Because there's, leaves in there and shit. And
So it's the same.
yeah,
It was
it's
the
the
same.
same.
Yeah, I didn't care for the outside portion.
And you see how the way the hot tub is to get in, you have to, there's 2 chairs right in front of the way to get into the hot tub. So there were people sitting in those chairs and we had to like squeeze in front of them
I don't
to
think
enter the hot
they
tub.
didn't have those chairs
Because
last
it's
time.
such a small area.
Yeah. Ooh,
It's like
that's kinda
chairs
awkward.
and then you step out of the chair and then right into the hot tub.
Was it busy?
No.
There was like nobody there.
Because we went right when it was closing when we
Yeah.
were there.
Yeah, it
So
closed at like what, 6:30?
6:30.
My favorite part
It
was
was
when they pulled
relaxing.
the stones out.
Yeah, we got a hot
That
stone.
is the nice thing about this deal, this coupon, is that it includes the hot stone.
Which is
And the aromatherapy.
that's a step up in
and
the
normally
massage world,
those normally those deals, they don't come with any kind of extras.
It'll be just the basic.
Yeah.
We got aromatherapy too.
Yeah.
I know. It's
We
all
got to
included.
choose our
I
scent.
did as
It was
well
nice.
when I
What
had
did you
mine.
choose? I chose detox.
I don't remember. It was a while ago. Did you see Juan at the Porte Cochere?
No. That was another thing that our porte cochere experience wasn't nowhere near what yours was.
If you haven't listened to the spa episode with Cheryl and I describe our Porte Cochere experience, and right now I don't know what episode that
I had to
was,
open my own
but-
door, get out of the car, and go looking for somebody to park my car. Nobody came up to me.
No.
No.
No. Oh dear.
So yeah, it was fine.
okay.
It was okay. It was nice
thought
just
it
to
was good.
experience something
I thought
relaxing
it was a good
and
first time
yeah,
spa experience.
I enjoyed it for what it was.
So the last thing that I wanted to talk about, which I saw today, which I don't think we have anything else to talk about besides that. So Disney has purchased additional land in Osceola County. So
I think I told you. Didn't I text you somebody?
Kristy, you told us towards the end of last year that they did, but they have purchased more
Even
since
more?
you told us.
Oh, wow.
So now some people are going to look at this and the way the news media...
my God, they're building 10 more parks!
The way the news media kind of sways it a little bit is like that they're going to do something on that land. But that land, generally, the idea is that it's reserved for... what do they call it?
Like animals and stuff?
Wetland protection,
preservation,
et cetera, et cetera. So generally when Disney expands on the property, on the Disney property, they need to purchase additional land elsewhere to preserve that land.
So they need to offset their carbon footprint.
Yeah, to offset their footprint. Basically, in layman terms, and somebody else could explain it better, but in layman terms, that's what it is. So it's not like they're going to build a new complex on this purchased land. They're going to build, most likely, more on Walt Disney World property. So they're preparing to expand further on the actual Walt Disney World property. So it's still kind of exciting, but it doesn't mean that they're going to be building on that land, the actual land.
Any way we can keep people from coming in here and building 80 more apartment complexes or storage units or gas stations, I'm down for. Okay, it's getting too crowded here, and I'm over it.
It's crazy. Since I lived here, I cannot believe how much it's been developed.
It's been growing so crazy here, like so quick, and we need to protect some land so that we can breathe here.
I couldn't even drive around here. I'd have to take an Uber because I don't know how to get anywhere.
Oh, Billy.
At all. I mean, my sense of direction is already horrible. But, I mean, I couldn't even, like...
Billy's what we call Kristy. That's her nickname. Billy. Oh, Billy.
So anyway, that's just a little tidbit of information that you might have seen. So it's possible that even with the current expansions that there's going to be more expansions coming up.
Bring it on. More Disney for us to love.
Yes.
All right, guys. So thank you so much for hanging out, Kristy.
Yes.
I hope that you come here many more times this year and that you move back
I'm
now.
I'm working on
planning on it.
I'm working on Project Get Kristy's ass back to Florida. I'm about to go into phase 1 today as we speak.
If anybody would like to donate to that,
her GoFundMe
GoFundMe, her Venmo, her Cash App. All right, guys. So until next time,
most major credit cards.
Until next time, please make sure that you follow us on Instagram at Orlando Out of Context.
5 stars,
and that you visit us.
That button.
Visit us at OrlandoOutOfContext.com. I'm trying to get through this. And then please listen and subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play. And until next time, bye. Come on, Kristy.
You always gotta prompt everyone to say bye. Yes, Pa.
Pa, we should drink for this podcast.
Kristy wants alcohol.
I think we should do a drunk podcast.
You want an alcoholic beverage, Kristy?
Sure.
Do you want wine or liquor?
What do you have? I don't know what you...
I mean, I have red wine, I have Jack Daniels, I have gin, I have vodka.
Shipping on gin and gin.